What's your name? Where are you from? And how did you get into real estate?
Cool. Easy enough, I guess. My name's Jack Cook. I was actually born here in Christchurch, so born and raised and still living here, obviously. How I got into real estate? It's a good question. Look, I think for me, it started out with I wanted just a change of scenery. I wanted a job where there was unlimited earning potential. I can't be upfront about that. My previous experience, I was working at PacknSave. So I loved it there, like great people, but just wanted to change the scenery. And I went to a careers evening that an agency was putting on. And that was my first foray into real estate. It was about a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago. And then did my papers, and then had an opportunity to join Caleb and the team and grabbed with both hands. That's
awesome. How did you decide to join Caleb?
So I actually knew of Caleb through a friend's mum who actually used to work with him. So I reached out to him, I think, on Instagram, as I did with a few other agents, and kind of just put out feelers to different agencies to see what kind of vibe I wanted to work for. And we caught up for a coffee, and he gave me some great insights into the industry when I was still doing my papers and working full time. Kept in touch, and I did some odd stuff for them, just like flyer drops, door knocking, etc., etc. And then when it came to around December, January, he said, "Hey, we've got an opportunity. If you want to join the team, we're growing." And I said, "Yeah, let's do it." And that was
What's been, from your experience, the most surprising thing, or expectation meets reality? Like, is there anything that comes to mind with what you thought real estate would be like doing your papers to now being a year in? Like, how does it feel?
I mean, it's a cool industry. It's really cool. I think the biggest shock was appraisal doesn't mean listing. That was probably the biggest. Your foot in the door. You meet the owners and you think, okay, it's great. I'm going to sign this up on the day. I'm going to list it. But in reality, it can often be 3 months, 6 months, or even just they list with another agent. And that's quite a brutal reality to get used to. And obviously try to, it's hard juggling, keeping, I guess, grounded in that.
Like, we were just at a conference and Trade Me shared a stat, 43% of people get in one agent. And so what I mean by that is that 43% of the time, if you're in an appraisal, you'll get the listing. But that doesn't take into effect the 6-month window, the 12-month window.
Exactly.
And it's probably averaged out, I mean, you've got an agent like Caleb and he's probably on maybe the higher end of that stat. But I know what it's like to be a brand new agent and you're going in and they're like, "Oh, okay. So, tell me a little bit more about yourself." And then you're trying to sell yourself. And I think, I guess one of the things that you've probably noticed is just obviously once you just get calloused and you get a little bit more numb to the rejection, talk to us about that. Because you must have walked from living a life where essentially rejections, well, not to go into trauma or anything, but I'm hoping rejection is not an everyday thing, to it sure. Almost being your day job. How was that?
I mean, it was definitely a shock. I think definitely it helped a wee bit, kind of being, I guess, what's the right word? Not, I was going to say lubed into it, I guess, by doing some of the door knocks.
I love how you went, that's not the word for it. And then you said the word for it.
But being kind of, doing some of the stuff for Caleb, and getting used to those no's, doing the door knocking and stuff. That definitely helped a little bit, but it's still a lot to get used to, and it sucks, getting told, "Oh, no, we're good to go away," or classic. But it's part of it, you can't understand, from your perspective, even from my perspective, someone knocks on your door or someone calls you out of the blue. It's who are you? Why are you trying to sell me something? So I guess it's just being there and providing value where you can.
And what are your favorite parts of real estate? What are you finding that you're actually getting a lot of enjoyment out of, or you kind of get into a flow state when you do? Time flies by. There's stuff that people don't like paperwork and prospecting maybe, but what parts are you noticing that you've got kind of this natural inclination towards?
I think the the most natural part. I enjoy the social media stuff. I always find that kind of fun, especially doing some of the background editing and having a vision and then bringing it to life. I think that's super fun. I actually don't mind the prospecting. I think the cold calling's quite fun, or calling from a database and trying to offer value where you can. And I get a lot of enjoyment out of that. And when they start to flow, it can go quite well. Other times,
hold you to that.
Other times, you might jump on the first call, you get told to piss off, and that just dampens the mood. But I think for me, that's where I get a lot of enjoyment from the job.
That's cool. We should in the office have like cold calling bingo, and just have like the big ones that you're going to get during the week, and then you can celebrate, crossing out a whole line of if you.
That's my partner.
Got it too. Yeah. There's that meme of it's just the young sales associate bursting into the boss's office, and he's like, "I've got my first." I was like, "Oh, cool. Is it on paper?" No. He's just got to speak to the wife first, and they just start losing it. Yeah. We've all been there. No, that's cool. Okay, final kind of part. I'm keen to get your take on the market. I mean, you can use the word market, or you can use the word buyer, vendor, but what hot takes do you have on what you're seeing right now? Because you're the one out in the open homes. Like, there's so many people watching this. They're on the sidelines, thinking about buying, thinking about selling, and they get to hear this video right now from someone who's out there on the coalface. Like, what kind of signals are you seeing?
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm not going to say it's the best market ever. It's thankfully for Christchurch, it's a relatively steady market. Unlike Auckland, Wellington, that are a bit more volatile. Christchurch on the whole does remain quite a bit steadier from what I've seen in my view into the industry. At the moment in open homes, we're noticing quite a lot less, I guess, urgency to buy, especially on buyers' ends. They're quite happy to, let the listing sit for a while, miss out on those deadlines, those auctions. Not necessarily jump the gun, being quite tactical with it. And so definitely from a vendor perspective, it's really important to put everything into upfront, getting the marketing right, getting, I guess, just putting your best foot forward when staging your home and getting it ready to go to market is super critical, because these buyers are quite onto it, and it's
first impression, you only get one.
Exactly right.
Yeah. Cool, man. Well, look, I really enjoyed this conversation. I think it's going to be one of many. I'm keen to keep this format going. I just think you just bring such a level of energy, I think, especially with your social media side and your aptitude for I hope aptitude is a word.
I think you're good. I don't think better than my one.
Your ability to reduce the friction between idea and execution. I think there's just actually such a big bonus between knowing what gets views, what gets engagement, what you enjoy consuming, and being able to replicate that. So many people in real estate produce content that's just completely different from what they actually like to consume, and they wonder why it doesn't work. So keen to go on that journey with you. Stoked you're here.
Likewise, man. Appreciate it. It's good to be here.
All right, awesome. There's the corporate handshake to finish the episode.